A future goal doesn't count as self-care if it's built on present-day self-abandonment. This is where people get tripped up. You might think, well, I'm doing this for me, or this is going to make my life better later, or this is what I've always wanted. And again, that part may be true, but here's the question that matters. What is it costing you right now? Hi, I'm Barb Nangle, and I want to welcome you to my podcast, Fragmented to Whole, Life Lessons from 12-Step Recovery. If you're tired of feeling fragmented, emotionally overwhelmed, stuck in people-pleasing, approval-seeking, overthinking, or losing yourself in relationships, you're in the right place. This podcast is about recovery for real life. Through honest stories, practical tools, and lessons I've learned through 12-Step Recovery, boundaries work, and over 4 decades of personal growth, we explore what it actually takes to stop abandoning yourself and build a life that feels more authentic, grounded, and whole. We'll talk about things like boundaries, shame, family dysfunction, reparenting, emotional regulation, self-trust, recovery, and creating internal safety so you can stay connected to yourself even when life gets hard. I'm a boundaries coach, speaker, author, and woman in recovery, and my approach is raw, honest, practical, and sometimes a little bit, a lot, sweary. I'm also an avid beachcomber. My hands are basically always cold, so I wear fingerless gloves most of the year. And I still get weirdly excited when I spot license plates with my initials BN. I don't speak for or represent any particular 12-step fellowship, though I'm deeply grateful for the role recovery has played in my life. If you're ready for real talk, emotional healing, and practical tools to help you go from fragmented to whole, keep listening. This is episode 351, How to Stop Abandoning Yourself in the Name of Success and Goals. This month, we're talking about self-care boundaries, and I think this is a fantastic follow-up to Art's guest episode last week because he talked about what can happen if we don't take care of ourselves. So today, I want to talk about something that might feel a little bit uncomfortable to hear, but it's incredibly important if you want your life to actually change, and it's this. Sometimes what you're calling self-care isn't self-care at all. Sometimes it's self-abandonment. I was recently working with someone who had a very clear goal, something she had wanted for decades. She wanted to live abroad. And she kept saying to me, I'm doing all of this for me. I've wanted this since I was a teenager. Everything I'm doing is to make that happen. And I want to make this really clear before I go any further. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. There's nothing wrong with wanting something for yourself or having a dream or wanting to create a life that feels meaningful and expansive. That's not the problem. The problem was how she was living in the process of trying to get there, because her day-to-day life looked like this: not sleeping, not eating regularly, constantly in urgency and crisis, managing everything and everyone around her, putting out fires all day long. There was no space for her, none. And this is where I want you to really listen carefully. A future goal doesn't count as self-care if it's built on present-day self-abandonment. So I'm going to repeat that so you hear me clearly. A future goal doesn't count as self-care if it's built on present-day self-abandonment. This is where people get tripped up. You might think, well, I'm doing this for me, or this is going to make my life better later, or this is what I've always wanted. And again, that part may be true, but here's the question that matters. What is it costing you right now? What I saw with her and what I see with a lot of people is this: you're organizing your life around a future version of you while abandoning the current version of you. You're taking care of future you and completely neglecting present day you. And that's just not sustainable. You could literally kill yourself now in pursuit of some future that may never come to pass because you've killed yourself in the process. So I want to expand your understanding of self-abandonment here, because most people think self-abandonment is saying yes when you want to say no, staying in relationships that don't work, letting people walk all over you. And yes, of course, that's part of it. But it also looks like this: postponing your needs indefinitely, living in constant urgency, never pausing, ignoring your body, telling yourself, I'll rest later, or I'll take care of myself once I get there. Here's the illusion. Once I get there, then I'll be okay. But if you're not okay now, if you don't know how to include yourself now, if you don't know how to create internal safety now, you will bring that very same pattern with you into the future, wherever you go. This is where internal boundaries come in, because internal boundaries are not about what you do once everything is calm and perfect. They're about what you do when things are messy. They're about whether you can stay with yourself when there is urgency, pressure, and discomfort. So I said something like this to her: I don't think you're wrong for wanting to live abroad, but I do think something is off in how you're trying to get there, because the way you're living right now isn't actually taking care of you. And I'm going to say something that might land the same way for you as it did for her. Wanting something for yourself doesn't automatically make everything you're doing self-care. Self-care is not just the goal you're working toward. It's the way you treat yourself in the process. Whether you sleep, eat, pause, listen to your body, consider your own needs in real time. Whether you play, have fun, rest, relax, rejuvenate. So here's the distinction I am hoping that you walk away with. Not everything you do in the name of your future self is actually supportive of you. And the way you pursue your goals should include you, not cost you. So I want to ask you a simple question, and I really want you to sit with it, perhaps even pause as soon as I ask it. What are you doing today that actually supports you now, and not just the future version of you? Not someday, not when things calm down, today. And if your answer is not much or nothing, that's okay. That's just information. So start here. Once a day, just once, pause and ask yourself, what do I need right now? You don't have to fix your whole life. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to begin including yourself. And you're not going to be able to do that if you don't pause and ask questions like, what do I need right now? Because you cannot build a life that feels good later if you're not creating a life that includes you right now. So that's what I have for today. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And as always, here's to honoring yourself. If your boundaries collapse in the moment, it's usually not because you don't know what to say. It's because when there's pressure, guilt, or someone else's reaction, it's hard to stay grounded and not override yourself. That's what we're actually working on inside my Boundary Bootcamp on May 2nd. This isn't a fast-paced workshop where you're just taking in more information. There's built-in time to slow down, reflect, and work through what's real for you so you can actually practice saying no, tolerating the discomfort, and not giving in when it matters. We'll look at what's been draining your time and energy, what matters most to you, and help you create a simple, personal blueprint so you can start showing up differently in your real life. Learn more at higherpowercc.com/bootcamp. Thanks for listening. If something here resonated, come connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm at Barb Nangle. I'd love to hear what you got from this episode. And if you'd like support building healthier boundaries in your personal, professional, or romantic life, you can book a free 30-minute Say No Without Guilt consultation at barbchat.net.